Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to explore a topic that anyone can relate to: how to significantly increase productivity. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to get a mountain of work done in a single day, while we sometimes struggle with a small task that takes forever to complete? The secret isn't about them having any special superpower, but rather the small habits they have that may seem simple, but actually bring extraordinary results. In this video, I'll share with you 12 specific proven habits to help you work faster, smarter, and achieve results that might even surprise you. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss out on future exciting content. Let's get started. First, let's talk about speeding up your work, one of the simplest yet most effective ways to boost productivity. Have you ever thought that by changing just a few small actions in your daily workflow, you could increase your speed by 10 times? It may sound unbelievable, but it's true. The key lies in optimizing the tools you use every day. Imagine this. You're working on a computer, and instead of clicking step by step to copy or paste text, you just press Ctrl-C and Ctrl-V. It takes less than a second. Shortcuts like these may seem insignificant, but if you use them hundreds of times a day, think about how much time you'll save. Plus, you can even speed up the mouse in your computer settings to make every action smoother, eliminating that sluggish feeling when dragging the cursor back and forth. And another thing I find incredibly important: learn how to type quickly. If you're still typing with two fingers and looking down at the keyboard to find each letter, now's the time to change. There are many free apps online to help you practice typing, such as Typing Club or Keyboard. Just spend 15 minutes a day, and within a month, you'll be typing faster, even without looking at the keyboard. When that happens, your work speed will soar, from writing emails to drafting reports. Everything will become easier than ever. Try applying these tips today and feel the difference. Next, let's talk about a habit that might sound counterproductive but is actually extremely effective: creating a stop-doing list. Yes, that's right. Instead of only focusing on what you need to do, you also need to identify what you should stop doing. We often tend to take on too many tasks, from important assignments to trivial things that don't matter, and as a result, none of them get done properly. So, sit down with a piece of paper and write out the habits or tasks that aren't truly valuable to you. For example, do you spend hours a day scrolling through social media, watching videos, and reading posts without learning anything useful? If so, cut that out. Or let's say you're trying to do a job you're not good at, while you could delegate it to someone else and focus on your strengths. Wouldn't that be more effective? I once heard a story from a friend who's a graphic designer. He was great at creating images, but spent hours writing advertising content, something he wasn't good at. After deciding to outsource the writing part, he had more time to focus on design, and the result was a double increase in productivity, with customers more satisfied than ever. What's the lesson here? Productivity isn't about doing more. It's about doing the right things. Focus on what you're best at and eliminate what's unnecessary. Now let's move on to another way to push yourself: creating urgency. Have you ever noticed that when time is running out, you suddenly work faster? That's the power of time pressure. A small trick I often use is setting a deadline earlier than the actual one. For example, if you're given a project that's due on Friday, tell yourself your deadline is Wednesday. When you have less time in your head, you naturally focus more, and procrastination is no longer an option. I remember once I had to prepare a presentation for the company, and instead of waiting until the last day, I set the goal to finish 2 days earlier. The result was, not only did I finish early, but I also had time to revise, making the presentation much more impressive. But if you feel that creating pressure on yourself isn't enough, try committing to someone else. Working in a team or having a friend or colleague monitor your progress is a great way to increase accountability. When you've promised someone that you'll finish by a certain time, you won't want to break that promise, right? The feeling of having someone tracking you will push you to act immediately. And to make things more exciting, try dangling a carrot in front of you. Reward yourself once you achieve a goal. For instance, I often promise myself that if I finish this task by 5 p.m., I'll go to my favorite cafe for an iced coffee. A small reward like that can really motivate you. But being effective at work doesn't mean you have to grind nonstop. Another important habit is scheduling proper breaks. Did you know that our brains are like a battery? If you keep using it without recharging, it will run out and work less efficiently. So make sure to take time off to recharge. One technique many people use is the Pomodoro technique. Work for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. After 4 cycles like that, you can take a longer break, about 15 to 30 minutes. I've tried this and found it really helps me stay sharp throughout the day. Or if you've been working hard all week, spend one afternoon on the weekend to relax. Take a walk, read a book, or simply lie down and listen to music. Taking breaks not only helps you recover, but also stimulates creativity. I once hit a creative block for a project, but after a 30-minute walk in the park, I came up with a brilliant solution I hadn't thought of before. So, don't think of rest as a waste of time. It's the way for you to work better in the long run. And here's another secret I want to share. Work according to your personal energy levels. Each of us has certain times during the day when our energy peaks. Some people are full of energy in the morning, while others really come alive at night. Which type are you? If you're a morning person, dedicate that time to tackle the toughest tasks that require high focus. But if you're a night owl, save creative work like writing, drawing, or brainstorming for the evening. I used to schedule tasks randomly, but once I understood my energy, I'm strongest in the early morning, I started reserving the important tasks from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. As a result, I finished them faster and still had time for other things. Try observing your body for a few days. Jot down when you feel the most alert and schedule your work accordingly. You'll see a noticeable increase in effectiveness. Speaking of mornings, have you ever tried waking up early? I know many people would think, oh, waking up early is so hard. But hear me out. The period from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. is often called the golden hours for creative work. During this time, the world is still quiet. There are no distractions from phone notifications, and your mind is the sharpest. This is the ideal time to eat the frog, a concept Brian Tracy talks about, meaning to complete the most important, difficult task of the day. Why call it eating the frog? Because it's like facing the thing you dread the most. But once it's done, your whole day will feel lighter and full of energy. I remember once I had to write a 2,000-word article, and I kept procrastinating because it felt overwhelming. But one morning, I decided to wake up at 5 a.m., make a cup of coffee, and get started right away. By 8 a.m., I was done, and it felt amazing, like lifting a weight off my shoulders. Since then, I made eating the frog in the early morning a habit, and it truly changed the way I work. You should try it. Just wake up early for a few days, complete the biggest task before sunrise, and you'll see how much smoother your day goes. To really boost productivity, you need another habit: respecting your schedule. It sounds simple, but not everyone can do it. Imagine you're a pilot, and the schedule is your flight map. If you don't follow it, the plane will veer off course. The same goes for your work. Sit down at the end of each day and plan the next day in detail, hour by hour, task by task. For example, from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., I'll reply to emails. From 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., I'll write reports, and so on. When you have a clear timetable, you'll never feel like, I don't know where to start. But making a plan is one thing. Sticking to it is another. To do this, you need to eliminate all distractions. Turn off all notifications on your phone, messages, emails, social media, anything that can pull your attention away. Have you ever noticed that when a notification pops up, you get curious and open it, only to fall into a time-wasting spiral? I used to be like that until I decided to turn on Do Not Disturb mode whenever I work. The result is that I concentrate much better and finish tasks sooner than I thought. Just think about it. A 10-minute distraction can throw you off course, and then it takes even more time to get back into the groove. So, absolute focus is key. Make your workspace a fortress that no one can breach. Finally, I want to share some interesting numbers to inspire you. Did you know that the top 1% of the world's most successful people, like Elon Musk or Warren Buffett, can accomplish a week's worth of work in just one day? What makes the difference? It's how they optimize their time and focus on what truly matters. One study even showed that if you know how to use shortcuts and optimize your workflow, your productivity can increase by 10 times. And here's the most impressive number: 90% of the results you achieve typically come from 10% of the most important tasks. This is the famous 80-20 principle, which means that only a small portion of what you do actually creates the greatest value. So instead of trying to do everything, focus on the tasks that have the most impact. For example, if you're a business owner, meeting with clients can bring in revenue 10 times higher than spending time editing a tiny form. Spend time identifying that 10% in your work, and you'll see an incredible change. So, we've gone through 12 habits that can significantly boost productivity. From speeding up work with shortcuts and typing faster, eliminating unnecessary tasks with a stop doing list, creating pressure and motivation with deadlines or rewards, to leveraging personal energy, waking up early to eat the frog, and controlling time with a tight schedule. These aren't just theories. They're things you can start doing today. Try applying them step by step without rushing and see what works best for you. I believe that with persistence, you'll see your productivity increase every day, and goals that once seemed out of reach will gradually be within your grasp. Feel free to share your results or experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe to support me in bringing more valuable content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next videos. Wishing you a productive and successful day.